Run will start at 5 or 5. Well, I guess. I mean, the SBA briefing information will be released to you around 5 or 5, between 5 or 5 to 5:10. Yeah, and then after that, the SBA Dry-Run packet tracer activity file will be released around 5:10 to 5:15. Right, and then you can try out the SBA file until 6:15, whereby you submit. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So if you look at your SBA Dry Run in your Google Classroom, there is an SBA briefing. Okay, so SBA briefing dry run will be conducted now, right? And then the actual SBA will be conducted next week, okay, around the same time lah. Of course, the period will be longer until 7:45 p.m. 2 hours 50 minutes. Okay, so later about 5:10 to 5:15, the SBA file will be scheduled to appear, right? So you download it, all right? Download the SBA file from there, and then you, after downloading to your personal machine, your PC, you can then open the SBA file using packet tracer. Yeah. Okay, so I think you all have already a packet tracer, so it should be no problem. If not, please get ready your packet tracer. Okay, to download from the NetAcad. Okay, but I'm sure you guys have it already, lah, right? So later you try open it. Okay, any problems? Inform me straight away. Yeah, so we can do something about it. All right, so do this step first. After you download the SBF picker file, before opening it, rename it to mark obtain underscore and then your name, right? So just put the mark obtain as 0, right? Okay, put 0 first. So this is to ease our marking, right? Marking so we can identify straight away from the file name later after marking, right? You must enter your full name and your email address and program and tutorial group. Just put 1, okay? And then this is how you key in, yeah, inside your user profile. Okay, don't forget, put in your name, your email address, and program and tutorial group. So you are G1, I think, yeah, G1, right? So and then click OK. This one will come out. You click yes. Okay, don't worry, click yes, right? If you want to open the user profile, once it's open, Control Shift U. Don't do this at the end of the exam, or else it will reset all your activity. So which means the moment you open your SBA, straight away key in the user profile. So even if it reset, it's okay because nothing there. If you do it afterwards, then it will reset the activity and then you cannot enter already. Is that clear for everyone?
Yeah.
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 Please remember, do this at the beginning of the SBA, not at the end, because this part, the reset there, near on the right hand side, you say the reset the activity. Okay. Right. Please be reminded that 20% from the total SBA scoring will be deducted for students who fail to fill up the user profile up here. Now, why is this such an important thing? Is because previously we have this problem um, where students don't do it, and the thing is they are able to copy just from their friends the answer, right? So that's why we have to ask to enter, right? So if you copy from their friends, they cannot change the what already. If they change it will reset, isn't it? So that's why this is indicated here, lah. All right, right. So I have trust in you guys. You just want to do this, but in KL you have hundreds of students, right? So possibility is quite high, lah. So that's why our CC put this rule 20%. Right, so don't worry if we a bit late, it's already 5:13, but later during the actual SBA, we already covered this briefing, so that means, um, you know, we don't have to do it, we can do it faster like in the actual one. Here, we just do it at our own pace, but just reminded that the by 5:15, the SBA PKF file should have been released. Okay. Anyway, we do this first, right? So everyone understand this part, yeah? The 20% means you have to do the user profile, which is this one. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So understand why we do this also, because if the student copy from their friend, they will have to change the name and then it will reset. Yeah. Right. So you can see there the reason. So and then there will be instructions within the SBF file. Okay, as usual, like the practical, there will be instructions inside there. Okay. Okay, so if you do check result, the assessment item is disabled. Usually to help you guys during the practical, you can check assessment items, meaning you can then make use of the assessment item to see which one you have done, which one you haven't done. Okay, but for the SBA itself, disabled by the what lah? It's disabled. So you cannot see which one is tick, which one is not tick, done, which one is not done, right? Because you're not supposed to use that checklist. You're supposed to uh, understand the instructions and do the what is necessary inside the SBA file based on the instructions, rather than just completing the tick tick here. Right? So remember, this will be disabled, the assessment items, right? So you cannot rely on that. You have to rely on the instructions itself, right? But you can do the connectivity test. That one is not disabled, right? This the connectivity test indicates the ping that you do, right? And whether the test is successful or not, right? Overall feedback also is available. Only the assessment items will be disabled. Yeah. Now, while you're doing your SBA, time to time, do click the save, okay, save option. Because if somehow right in the middle of your working on it and a corruption can happen, maybe your PC suddenly or laptop run out of battery, or there's no power, switch off, or anything can happen that you crash the shutdown, crash whatever your PKF file. If you have not saved, when you open it again, the file might be the work you've done may not have been saved. So while you're working on your packet tracer file, yeah, do save it, yeah, time to time, right? And also you can capture screen of the scoring of the SBA time to time. You know, when you click on the what, you can see the score, right? The check result. You can see the score, or at the bottom there, you can see the score. Okay, so far, time to time, do a screenshot of that part. Okay, it's just for evidence that you actually have done something. Just in case the corruption is irretrievable. So at least we can then use that. Okay, your screenshot. Okay, you're doing actually really crash. Then we can maybe do something to extend your time or something like that lah. Right. So this one is on me. I will remind the time, right? Remind the time as you go along. Right. So just in case the corruption and your file is damaged, then you can then have an extension up to this, right? Okay. Okay, you are required to turn in this file, the PKF file itself, and secondly, the screen capture. Screen capture is to show your user profile and mark obtained together in the same screen. So that means that you can Control Shift U if you want to recall back at any time in your SBA when you do this shortcut Control Shift U, then you can see your profile will be displayed. Okay. At the same time, you get them side by side so that your screenshot will include both your profile name on the left and your completion rate on the right hand side. Okay, and this is then you print screen this part, submit together with your completed PKF file. So please remember this. You need time to do this during submission. All right, you need the time to do this during the submission. 15-minute submission should be more than enough to do that. And then click cancel, right? Right, so when you want to close the user profile to print screen, be careful. Click cancel, not OK. Click cancel to close the user profile. Click OK just in case it will reset. Okay, please cancel. Right, or else this will come out and then reset. Right, if you arrive here, just click no. Right. Right, so these are marks the deduction if late. Okay, so no marks will be given if SBA submission is after 20 minutes, and 3 marks will be deducted if you did not submit your print screen. So a print screen must be done, yeah. Right. So these are the time for late submission for mark deduction. As you can see, as to the maximum of 20 marks. Right. So for this one is candidates have problems submitting your SBA file due to any whatever reason. Okay, email it to your for me lah, to me. Okay. All right. Okay. But
So the
yeah, should be no
the
problem
name,
submission. Sorry.
the file name also need to rename from time to time.
The file name. No, the
From
file
lots
name
of them.
you do the only the first time only here, right? Then your marks
Oh,
here, the zero one, you replace it. Once you get your mark, your last mark from that one,
oh, last month.
yeah,
Okay.
last mark, yeah. Because yeah, the time to time is you do your own screenshot lah, just in case. Okay, very rare lah. We got student good corruption, but you know we never say never. Cannot be 100% sure. I sometimes I say never. I never get a crash, but then suddenly tiba-tiba got crash. Yeah, right. So yeah, okay. So up to here, I think should be okay. Submission to me, because we are only three of us, you can submit via you have to submit using Google Classroom. If for some reason Google Classroom got problem, then get email. If for some example got problem with the email, you can WhatsApp to me lah. That is the, I don't think we reached that stage. Okay, so that is our briefing, and you can see that SBA submission already open, so you can then download this and try to follow exactly the briefing. Practice, okay, dry run kan. Try to follow exactly like the briefing. See whether you can follow the briefing that we have mentioned, especially the step by step. Right? I believe this briefing is quite detailed and easy to follow. Right? The reason being, so next week you already know what to do, and you don't waste time on trying to figure out what to do. Yeah, so straight away focus on your answering only. Okay, so go ahead and download and open your SBA Dry-Run PKA, rename it, okay, and then do the user profile thing, and then I'm not sure. I haven't opened it. I'm not sure whether there's actually a example question there. If there is, you can try it out, and then uh, try to go through what we have did earlier on. So to end up your to practice what you should do towards the end of your SBA task lah, right? What to do when at the end, what to print screenshot, and when you submit later, please submit according to the briefing. That means you have to provide two, right? Your PKF file and your screenshot, okay, with the two info side by side, user profile plus your completion rate.
So the email, we use the private email or the university email?
I think it's university email, yeah.
Oh,
University email, I think, yeah. It didn't say that the private email. In any case, your private email is for your net acad, I believe. So yeah, use the university email.
oh, okay.
Yeah, this is to complete this user profile and to enable easy contact, right? For us may not be so crucial, but to identify all this. But in KL, they have many students, hundreds of students, so and different groups, different tutors. So it become very important in KL campus lah. Not to say that it's not important here, it's still important, but it's for me to identify your what lah. So yes, the answer is the email, you use the university email.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Now's the time for you to ask questions, right? So make sure you know the workflow for our SBA, right? We should be exactly the same for the actual SBA.
So basically, just follow what being told in the instruction.
Yeah, the SBA briefing.
Oh,
If there is any changes, I will inform you as soon as possible. But I think that's final. That's no changes because the all the other lecturers already viewed this briefing, so they didn't raise any issue. This SBA briefing is done by our CC, and the SBA was created by, I think, assigned by the CC also, assigned someone, one of the lecturer, and then another to moderate it. So far, no one complained lah about the content. They already checked lah. You guys already received your exam
yeah.
schedule, examination schedule for this semester. You already received or not?
Yes.
Yes, huh? Okay, so please make sure, just remind you guys, make sure you put them all in, your calendar, so you don't miss any of your exam lah. Huh? I think the exam this time very very fast, very fast. I don't think we have in study week, maybe a couple of days or few days, then start already. So next semester, you guys have one elective course there from EG02, correct? You have to select
Yeah.
one elective, yeah. So maybe tomorrow I will take some time during our practical, okay, to get your vote lah. You have the list, right? Tomorrow I will talk about very briefly about each of the courses available, right? And maybe I'll give you some time to think about which one. Have you guys think about which one you want to do?
Yeah.
Already thought about it? Have an idea? But of course, we cannot have like, I think you three of you have to discuss which one you want to take. We cannot spread you guys with each one take one option. We have to choose one out of the options, and then all three of you agree on that one. Because if one by one, it's only one student per class it's difficult to do that for the courses. So if you've not talked to each other yet, okay, maybe you guys can talk to each other after I give. Maybe you have an idea already lah. Maybe you have a conversation among the three of you, right? Uh, and after I explain briefly about each of those choices tomorrow, maybe then you can agree which one would you like to uh, take up from the elective courses lah, right? You have access to the list, right? I think you can
Yeah.
see the list. Okay. Uh, you will also have another chance to select from that same list in the semester after next semester. Your next semester is your semester 3 for year 2. Okay, so there's one elective, and then another elective. Okay, there are two elective for year 3 semester 1, but the other one is MPU. Okay, so the second elective for year 1 semester 1, that means it should be the May semester lah kan. It will coming from the same list lah, right? So you can decide whether you want to do the which one in which semester, right? Hopefully you can agree among yourself to choose one lah for next semester. Okay, one course that all of you agree on. Right, a lot of interesting courses there actually. Right, so remember, if you want to take the course, take something that may be useful for you. Okay, maybe for your project. Okay, for your project maybe, or for later when you when you want to go into internship or find work later, because it appears on your transcript lah, right? So yeah, so just take note of that lah. Okay, maybe you also take it because it can help you maybe in doing your project, your final year project, right?
Okay.
All right, so I will take some time from our practical to brief you on that. You can make use of the dry run packet tracer to practice lah, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so even after this dry run, you can still use it to practice. I can see that the the given here, you have to create VLAN, all this. So to go to the next page, I just maybe share this. screen. Make it big. All right. So right. So this is the activity task. The first page is basically all the addressing and the devices, yeah, and the VLAN table, right? So continue next page. You click on the towards the underneath the completion there. There's an arrow pointing to the right. Yeah, can you see my mouse? Okay, click on it, and then it will give you the second page where all the instructions are. Okay, I cannot say for sure, but it looks like very similar to what you're going to do for your SBA. So you can see configure VLAN. Okay, very possible you're asked to do configure VLAN, create VLAN. So prepare yourself the instructions. Okay, in iOS to do that. But of course, the details here will be different, okay, I believe. And then configure your PC host all the IP address, subnet mask, default gateway based on the what also like given addressing here. Okay. Right. And then next, assign switch ports to VLANs. All right. Verify. Okay. Show VLAN brief command verify. Okay. Configure PC host, configure inter-VLAN routing. So configure router on the stick. Okay, so this one, please ensure you know how to do this one. Okay, using the sub interfaces, right? And then do this ping. And then configure dynamic routing protocol. This one, I believe is EIGRP, right? And then test that EIGRP. Believe you already done that as well before. Still remember, uh, we did this one. And then configure port security. Let me see, enable port security, maximum number of MAC address to restrict, aging time 70. We learned about this yesterday. And then also the same on there, but just a different values. Okay. And verify connectivity, verify port security, right? Okay. That's all right. I'm not sure why there's no Ether channel, but it's okay. Okay, just prepare your instruction for doing Ether channel, just in case. But yeah, the VLAN definitely come out. VLAN, the EIGRP, the STP, because there's nothing to do with STP, for configuring STP. STP is automatic, right? So maybe that's why it's not part of the question. But yeah, and then finally the port security. If this come out, if these topics come out, are you guys okay to answer?
I think okay because
Oh, the step 1, 2, 3. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if this come like this, I also hope you guys will be able. So how do you prepare? Prepare all the instructions to do this lah, right? So configure VLAN, prepare all your instructions. Okay. Like I said before, have a digital notebook where you can store all the instructions, so you don't have to search for it during the test itself. Okay, step by step to do all ready already, right? So you just need to maybe customize using the values given, right? Excuse me. Right, so practice on this one now. Okay. Now some things like the Ether channel not here. Okay, just prepare the instructions, even though it's not like shown here, right? I can't guarantee that it's not going to come out hopefully exactly like this lah, right? Hopefully lah. What else, huh? Okay, so tomorrow we'll practice on this one, I guess. This one and I think yeah, JRP already, right? So maybe on this one, maybe practice tomorrow. But port security is easy actually. Commands, the instructions, there's a few instructions only. The thing is, just because of the pandemic, we're doing this configuration on using packet tracer. When there's no pandemic, actually, you will do this on the real hardware. Okay, so a bit relief for you guys because on the real hardware, there's other there's other issues lah, you know. You need to plug in everything. It's all unplugged. You have to plug in everything, and then you have to test all working before you can even think about configuring. But I figure that probably the time given is slightly longer lah, right? But next semester, barring any problem with Omicron, I pronounce it correctly, Omicron. If there's no issue with the Omicron strain, then definitely we are going to do face to face. So next semester, you guys are moving on with the advanced computer network, I think. Yeah, let me just double check. Yeah, advanced computer network is next semester. So that one probably you will be using the hardware, right? The hardware. So we'll still do some of the exercises maybe using packet tracer, but I think that's the first time we'll be using the real hardware. Okay. In terms of the iOS, yeah, it's still the same, right? Still the same commands you have to type in. You're still typing it on a computer, but using PuTTY as a terminal and connect via SSH and all these things. Any questions? Any questions you can ask?
How many more practical?
Sorry, Noel?
How many more practical?
How many more practical? This week we have practical this week. Let me just double check the practical question. So this week we're going to do the switch security configuration, and next week, yes, we still have practical next week, but I believe those practical will not be included in the SBA. For that one is the wireless LAN, configure wireless network, configure basic wireless LAN configuration, all this. Okay. So next week we still have the packet tracer exercises on wireless LAN, but that's not going to be included in our packet tracer SBA, right? Because it's not going to be enough time for you guys to do it. So this week's one, switch security, we're going to do tomorrow will be included. Okay, will be included in the SBA. So that means this part, the part 5, configure port security.
Oh, okay.
Any questions from Farah and Kelvin?
No.
Yeah. You guys know exactly how to prepare. Over the years, I think what I noticed is that is the time that the students have a difficulty to complete within the time allocated. Right. So practice to and also to use the strategy I mentioned. I remember when I went to our instructor there is the professor. He's already done this part, and he's sitting for the next level, which is CNAP, right? And I noticed when he's doing it, he's doing exactly the technique that I told you guys. Okay, he typed all the commands in Notepad, and then just configure everything there. I guess if you're familiar already, right? If you're not familiar, that's why I asked you guys to have a copy of the instructions somewhere on your computer. Okay, you just open up on that day and then just customize and copy paste lah. Right? So just type everything on his notepad, right? And then copy and paste into the devices. Obviously, the switch 1, switch 2, switch have all different customization because the addresses are different, right? But it's very fast to do it that way. Okay, copy and then paste, and then it's executed already. This one, multi-layer switch, where's the multi-layer switch? There is a multi-layer switch, This one is configuring on the multi-layer switch. Wonder whether there is a. Let me just check out on the what? Inter-VLAN. They do both. Okay, so there is step 2, router on a stick, and the other one on multi-layer switch. MLS-S0, I noticed the MLS-S0 switch. So this one is multi-layer switch. You can see that, let me just share with you guys. Right, so open up the other one. Yeah. So multi-layer switch is, you can identify straight away if you need to configure is that one, right? This is multi-layer switch. MLS-S0 is. Okay, so maybe you prepare yourself for both, for multi-layer switch and router on a stick. I believe it's the commands are very few for the multi-layer switch. And then just double check. For the router on a stick is on R1, configured on, for all VLANs configured on S0 switch. S0 switch is this one, right? So this LAN, okay, the S0 is this part. So that means if this S0 linked to this R1, so this interface G0 on R1 is the router on the stick. So that means that interface will have that sub-interfaces, right? Okay, so for this network, we'll use this router on the stick. So this network will use this multi-layer switch, I think, yeah? Let me just check. Step 1, configure inter-VLAN routing on multi-layer switch for all VLANs in the VLAN table. Oh, okay, so for all VLAN in the VLAN table, configure the switch port that is connected to with an IP address shown in the address table. Okay, so for the multi-layer switch, is all for all VLANs. For router, sorry, for the router on the stick into VLAN, only the VLANs that are configured on the S0 switch. Yeah, correct lah, on the left-hand side, that one. Right? And then use the information, okay, configure IP address, okay, that's it lah, right? So there's nothing to do on this switch ISP, no need to do anything. Only on this for this part, network, then ML switch for all VLANs. VL 10, 11, 10, VL 11 and 10, and this one, 24, 23. Right? Then you treat the multi-layer switch as a router, so that means you have to configure EIGRP both on R1 and the multi-layer switch. Okay, router ID for R1 is that, the multi-layer switch is that. Okay, and the autonomous node, the AS is 10. In our example, the practical, or in our slides, we use 1, right? Here, it gives as 10. Configure levels of respective wildcard mask. Remember how to get wildcard mask?
Yeah.
255, 255, 255, 255 to minus the subnet mask of the network address, and then you get the wildcard mask. Right? Do not summarize, it's okay. No summary, no problem. Simply ignore summarization. Resource route to, okay. Default route has been configured in R1. R1 already got the default route, so no need to do default route in R1. It's already been configured. Okay, I think it should be all right. Yeah, this one also. I think this one is easy also. Oh, when you're doing the VLAN, when you assign switch port to VLANs, remember that for these, oops, sorry, for all these ports from the switch to the PC, there should be access ports, right? And for this to here, trunk ports. This to this, trunk ports. This to this, trunk ports. To allow forwarding packets from different VLANs. So that means they're sharing. Hey, don't forget, you need to do trunk links. Okay? So trunk ports here, 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 here. Access port here, 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 and here, here. So, for example, this access port here set to VLAN 23. Example, All right, Noel. Sorry, I didn't see your message earlier. Part 3, step 1B, configure switch port that is connected to with an address as shown. The switch port on. Oh, okay. So that means on the multi-layer switch, okay. Then the port that links the the multi-layer MLSO switch, yeah, that links that MLSO switch to R1 means the link on ML, the multi-layer switch, port G01, okay, port G01 on MLS0, okay, multi-layer switch 0, okay. So you have to configure that port, okay, with the IP address shown in the addressing control.
Or how
So
to assign the IP address?
The because it's a multi-layer switch, yeah, that means for that switch you can actually configure the IP address. Okay, let me just double check for you. Yeah. So okay, just mention to you what happened. So this information okay. So layer 2 switch ports cannot be assigned an IP address. If you want a switch to act like a router, we need to assign the IP address to the ports. This is done by the command switch port under the interface, right? The switch port command will make the port behave like a layer 2 port, whereas no switch port will make it behave like layer 3 port. It is a toggle, right? You toggle the port to behave like layer 3 by putting in no switch port at that switch interface, right? So basically, configure terminal and then interface G01, right? Because our interface ML multi-layer switch is G01, right? So interface G01, then type no switch port. Okay. Once you type no switch port, then you can type in the IP address like normal, like as if you're putting IP address on the router. IP address and then the IP address and the subnet mask. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. So the main thing is the main instruction, the command is no switch port. Okay, this toggles the port from layer 2 to layer 3. When you already type no switch port, when you are inside the interface configuration, then you can set the IP address. If you want it to return back to normal switch port, that means layer 2, okay, where you cannot assign the IP address, just type switch port. If you want from layer 2 to layer 3, type no switch port. In our case, because the question asks you to set that port as a with an address, okay, that means it needs to be in layer 3 mode. So go inside the interface configuration, Okay, configure terminal and then interface G01 and then type no switch port. Then type after that it will become a layer 3 port interface, and then type IP address and the IP address that you want to set.
Okay.
Yeah. Noel in IP address, invalid input detected. Yeah. Between G01 and between interface G01 and IP address, you have to insert the command no switch port. Can you confirm, Noel? After you do it, you can now put in the IP address.
Yeah, can already.
Can already, yeah. Okay. So the rest, following, yeah, Farah and Kelvin.
Oh, I just trouble at the inter-VLAN routing.
Okay. So, but you're following what we are discussing just now, right?
That one that one I just did also, but
Okay.
I think I trouble with the inter-VLAN routing.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, remember, if you want to set the port on the multi-layer switch so that you can set IP address because it becomes like a router, right? The command to put is no switch port. All right, so you can still download the SBA Dry-Run packet tracer, the empty one. Okay, if you want to try again for your own revision later. Now it's 6:15, so let's practice to submit. Okay, let's practice submission now. So all you need to do is, okay, let me just display my screen. So reduce the size of your this one activity, because oh, how come yours? Okay, let me just I think I do the wrong thing. Okay, no, I'll share you this one instead. Right, so okay, so this is your packet tracer. Let's say you reduce your PT activity file. Hey, how come I cannot change already? I choose the other one, is it? Okay, never mind. Sorry. I choose the window rather than entire screen. Okay. So okay, you're viewing my entire screen. Okay, so let's say now you finish already, yeah? Finish all configuration. Make sure your packet tracer activity file is make it small like this, right? And then Control Shift U. I think it's Control Shift U. If not, hang on, should be here. Control Shift U. Yeah. And the user profile come out. Just now I didn't, but you should key in all the information here correctly. And then get your activity file beside it. Something like this lah. Right? Okay. So on your left will be your profile, user profile all completed earlier on when you first start your exam. Don't do it at the end of when you want to submit already, because the moment you click OK, right, this one will come out, and there's no way for you to apply the info without resetting activity, thereby your completion rate go back to 0. Okay, so you have to do it at the beginning, so you don't have to click OK anymore, right? But just Control Shift U so that you just basically can show this side by side like this, right? So this user profile is already completed at the beginning when you before you start to do your SBA. So it remains until the end. Then when your screenshot, you can also see the completion rate here, right? This completion rate will tell your marker that what what marks you get. Okay, and then you screenshot this entire screen lah, right? Okay, so this is the second submission, the second file submission, a screenshot of your packet tracer showing user profile and the activity showing completion, all in one page or one image, right? The first submission is, of course, the packet tracer file itself. So there are two to submit: the packet tracer file itself and your screenshot showing like this, your user profile at the left, and then your activity file with the completion rate showing here at the right hand side. Is that okay, everyone?
Okay.
Can you
Okay.
do that? Can you do that now? So that you go at least one time. To get the user profile, you just click on the, let's say cancel. You just, let's say you're here, Control Shift U, and then you come out. Just drag it a bit, and then from here you just go to activities, and then take screenshot, and after that rename your name, the SBA file, and also this one. Okay, this a screenshot of that, and then after that you just submit both into your Google Classroom submission. Can you try that now? Okay, so at least we know that, yeah, we know that you can do it. And then for next week, we already know what to do. Okay, if you want to recall back later, go through the SBA Briefing PDF file again.
The mark attained is what? Is it the completion rate?
Yeah, the completion rate.
The mark attained, we need to rename it to completion rate.
Yeah. Type in exactly what you get for completion rate into the mark obtained.
The screenshot name is what?
Same, because it will be differentiated by the extension.
Okay. Screenshot name.
Screenshot in shortcut for screenshot in Windows 10 is Windows key Shift and then S together. Windows key on the keyboard, Shift and S at the same time. Right? Then you can screenshot. Right?
Share the same name. It has the screenshot got the same name as the
SBA?
As the PKA.
Yeah. Use the same format lah. Okay. We can differentiate by the extension. The other one will be JPEG, and then the other one will be PKA, the extension. So, right. So far, 2 turn in. Let me just check. Correct or not? So Farah already submitted. Let me see, Farah. Yes, exactly, Farah. So Farah, you left it as 0 in the beginning, the 0. If you can remember, you put in replace the 0 with the completion rate lah. But I'm not, because the only 3 of you, I'm not really that about this one, because I can just rename it. But if you can remember, the mark 0 in front of the name, okay, you can replace it with the mark you get from the completion rate that is shown on your packet tracer activity. Yeah, towards the bottom right corner, completion 0. Mine is 0%. I didn't do anything, but yours should be, there should be a value there, right?
Oh, so the number is based on the completion.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Right. Okay, so Farah already submitted. Noel, let me see. Noel also. Okay, Noel also.
Sir, the image file type must be in PNG.
Oh, doesn't matter, as long as can view. JPEG and
Okay.
PNG accepted. Right. Doesn't whichever format you do. Yeah. Okay. Done correctly. Fairer also, let me check your screenshot. Fairer one also done correctly. I can see both the user profile and the completion rate. Okay, good. Now check a Kelvin one. Screenshot. Okay, done correctly also. Side by side. User profile and the completion rate. So just to show you guys how it looks like on my side. Okay, like that. Correct lah? So you can see that the user profile on the left hand side and with the completion rate on the right hand side, left and right. Okay, so this is correct like this, screenshot. Okay, all of you done correctly. Okay, so I think that's it for today. Thank you very much, guys. I see you. Have a good evening. I see you guys tomorrow for our practical. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right.